Back on BTN Live. We talk Huskers every week with Matt Davison. Let's delve into that now. He is in our studio in Lincoln. And Matt, due to the good APR score and due to the dearth of bowl-eligible teams, Nebraska is going to have one more game. So I guess it's a little early to do a complete postseason wrap-up on the Huskers. But 5-7 at this point. What's your biggest takeaway from year one under Mike Riley?
Well, I think it's the small things, Dave. You look at this football team and the ups and downs that they had this year, the heartbreaking losses early in the season, the inability to execute at times this season, the bad penalties at times. This team just needs to tighten things up. And I think it takes a whole evaluation of the program, starting, all the way with the coaching staff, down through the locker room, the upperclassmen in the locker room, down to the guys that are trying to play next fall. How do we practice? How do we prepare for games? How do we make sure that we don't make these same mistakes again? I think that's what this program has to look forward to. I think the players are good enough right now to win a bunch of games. We were right there in a lot of games this year, but a lot of self-inflicted wounds caused us to lose games. And a 5-7 year is not what Nebraskans expected. That's not what our players or our coaches expected. And I think it's something that they can fix in the offseason, but it definitely needs to be fixed. It was a lot of the same things that bit Nebraska all year long.
So you've been in many practices. You participated in many in your day. They're going to have a lot of practice. You're going to have the one more game, the bowl game. So that gives you bowl practice, gives you spring practice, it gives you preseason practice next year as well. So one game and a lot of practices between now and next fall. What's the biggest thing that has to change inside those practices to get this team where it wants to be?
I think if you really look at this football team, I think there has to be a more physical side of it. I think Nebraska has to be a team that plays downhill. I think on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, we have to have a mentality of this is who we're going to be. I don't know that we had that this year, and so finding an identity, and I think this team wants to be a more physical football team, and I think that's where it starts. So in practice, when you go out there every day, are you saying, hey, we're going to be the toughest football team every time we take the field? I think that's the identity Nebraska needs, and I hope that's what they strive for in the offseason.
Do you think Tommy Armstrong will definitely be Nebraska's starting quarterback next year?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. You look at the experience that he has, you look at the physical abilities that he has, and I think he has the ability to be a great quarterback. I think he makes big plays at times. He's shown that he's physical enough to run the ball, which I think Nebraska needs to do more of next year with him, and put him in positions every single week, every single play to try to make a great decision and deliver the ball where it's supposed to go. He has the arm strength. He has the physical tools to play the quarterback position at a very high level, in my opinion.
Hey, Matt, before I let you go, you saw both of the teams that will be playing in the Big Ten championship game come to Lincoln this year. Obviously, Nebraska had its biggest win of the season over Michigan State, the only team to beat them. You saw them play Iowa last week. How do you size up that matchup?
Well, I'm done doubting Iowa. That's the first and foremost. This team has done it all year long, and every week you think maybe they'll stub their toe, and they don't. They don't beat themselves. They have a quarterback who knows what they're looking for in him. He doesn't throw interceptions. He doesn't turn the ball over. They're okay punting it away and playing good defense, winning the special teams battle. So I believe in Iowa. Now, I think Michigan State wins a really close game on Saturday. But, that's probably what a lot of people think. It won't shock me if Iowa wins. They just find a way to do it every single week. And so I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it just shows you in college football, Dave, that every single week anybody can beat anybody. When you see Nebraska's record and the fact that they were able to beat Michigan State beats Ohio State, I know connecting the dots sometimes is really difficult to do. But I think it shows you that just a few plays within each game change every game. For Nebraska, it was turnovers this year. Iowa doesn't do that. That's why they have a chance on Saturday against Michigan State and a chance to be in the 4-team playoff, which nobody saw at the beginning of the season from the Hawkeyes.
Former Nebraska star, current color analyst for the radio calls on Nebraska football and basketball, Matt Davison, joining us from Lincoln. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks, Dave.